even though everyone has the right to remain silent when feeling sad or hurt. But if it's done constantly by someone, that is a bad sign. Because staying silent is not always a good thing, especially if it becomes a habit. It can reduce partners' ability to resolve conflict or interact intimately. This behavior had its own name. It is called stonewalling. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Praise and thanks to Allah who gave us the opportunity to be able to take part in the English speech competition at FIP Art and Education Week with FIP UNISA 2021. I am Speech-Faizur Rahmatin as the one of the Special Education Program representatives. Due to our International Day of Education on 25th January 2021 under the theme Recover and Revitalize Education for the COVID-19 Generation and the World Mental Health Day 10 October 2021 by its theme Mental Health in Unequal World, I will talk about student and the stonewalling. Stonewalling is the behavior of someone who refuses to communicate with others. Usually, they will avoid getting involved in discussion, problem solving, cooperation, or fights. Maybe they just sit and be quiet while other people will panic even more because they feel they are not being heard. It can be painful, frustrating to those around you, and worst of all, it can damage the relationships. They may ignore everything you say as if you are different from them, unequal. This is of course makes our journey and it will be more complicated in the world of education, for example, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, when at this time we found teachers and students who seem to have a little active interaction or even don't pay attention to each other at all. For example, when teacher asks something like, "Who knows who invented the lamp?" A few students must be silent. There are those who are silent because they do not know the answer, and there are also those who are silent because they are afraid to have an opinion. And I have one more example when the teacher asks about understanding, such as, "Students, do you understand today's material?" The result is there are many students that are silent because they still don't understand, and the rest of them don't want to answer because, once again, they are afraid to have an opinion. From the two cases that I said before, there must be a sentence that is afraid to have an opinion. This is due to many factors. One of it because afraid of their own environment, afraid to be different one that have the other opinion, and afraid to be blamed by their friends or their teachers. It sounds strange when I said the two cases before are happened in the school. But speaking of freedom of speech and expression, the education system does not seem to foster a way of thinking that supports this right. This right actually needs to be supported by education, which, in the end, it will form a mindset and personality that can build a respect for humans with their differences. Even in the state system, freedom of speech is a pillar of the foundation of the principles of democratic rule of law. This needs to be underlined because this behavior can close the knowledge gained. So, of course, it will have a back impact of the development of the student learning. This is usually considered trivial or only considered as the embodiment of children who does not care about the environment or considered quiet, also inverted. Even though stonewalling is very dangerous just like the word stone in the stonewalling. Stone is definitely difficult to destroy, especially since this stone is made to make a wall. The stone wall itself will certainly be solid and strong, but not growing, like personality that caused by this stone walling. So, what should teachers or parents do in this educational environment? We all certainly know how important teachers and parents in the child education, but on the other hand, even the teachers and the parents, they could not be facilitators of their children. These two must be supporters, provide supports to children in the learning process as the facilitators in discussing new things they get, as some motivators to motivate them to keep putting their mental health and happiness first, as a friend that could be good listeners. Of course, here children will tend to be open to all of they have experiences, and of course the negative side of stonewalling itself will be a little melted, and all of the children and the student education quality will be recaptured. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.